and this is looking like a possible breakout and a retest to this area right here. A continuation may occur towards the upside. If they do want to go and chase anything, then we know that they might want to go and chase this liquidity that they have left behind. So it's giving us a perfect reason to believe that price could buy from here. You've got to understand that when it comes to trades like this, you've just got to be willing to take the risk to reward.
Started from the bottom like Drake, got that young moolah, but I learned my mistakes. Climbing up the ladder, gotta watch out for the snakes. If you wanna be the boss, then you have to delegate.
Neo, the indicator with Telegram alerts, is an all-in-one break and retest indicator. Neo is set up to help traders find an entry into the market for long-term trades. Based from the daily, weekly and monthly time frame, the Neo alerts will help you identify high probability setups, meaning long-term consistency. Straightforward and easy to get set up. All you need is access to the Telegram group to get the alerts. Signing up for Neo is not hard at all. All you have to do is message me in Discord or Telegram, and if you are in there, you will be able to see the charts I post with take profit levels in there, and you will also be able to see the news alerts I do explain about the market whilst we're in the trades together. I hope this helps everybody when it comes to understanding what Neo can do for them and if they would like to get the service. Hello guys and girls, and welcome back. It's your boy Big John here. The at's at the bottom of the screen if you like to listen to my music. So is all the relevant information I'll be speaking about in this video. And today what I'm going to be doing is breaking down a weekly outlook on some of the pairs. That's the major pairs in the Forex market. I will also be adding XAUUSD, that's gold, just to see what it could be up to and even show you how we was able to catch some of these pips in this market. I hope you're going to like this one, guys and girls. Let's get straight into the video. Okay, as you can see, I am on my daily time frame. This is EURUSD. We're going to go through a few of these pairs like I did say before, and I'm just going to break down what you can see in terms of simple, clean, naked Forex market structure and how we could be looking to take trades in these pairs for the days or within the week to come or weeks to come. So let's go straight into EURUSD. Once we get over to this area over here, we have a nice support level on a daily time frame. We can see right over here in the daily time frame that the market has managed to respect this level for a possible buy. So if we was going to be looking to get a continuation of this buy into this market and thinking, you know, hopefully we can catch a trade, then the best thing for us to do is go down to a time frame. So I always do suggest to people that, you know, you start from a certain time frame. I like to start from the daily, weekly or monthly, and then I start breaking myself down into different time frames. So if I'm on a daily, I'm going to go to the 4 hour next and see what's happening here. And what we can clearly see here already, if we're looking at this is what I have taught you in YouTube before. We can see a liquidity wick towards this area. Liquidity is when they've left money behind in the market, slippage, you know, stuff like that. So they're going to go back and collect whatever money they've left at this zone. So if we're looking at a possible continuation of a buy here on this pair, then clear as day, if we just draw a trend line, we can see the market did stop here on Friday, and this is looking like a possible breakout and a retest to this area right here. A continuation may occur towards the upside. If they do want to go and chase anything, then we know that they might want to go and chase this liquidity that they have left behind. So it's giving us a perfect reason to believe that price could buy from here. You've got to understand that when it comes to trades like this, you've just got to be willing to take the risk to reward. Where you could put your stop loss in a trade like this, your stop loss would be below this level, expecting for them not to break this level and then a continuation of a buy. If they do break this level here, then it's not a problem. You just look for a re-entry on the next higher low that has been formed. So if they form, let's say, another higher low around this area here, then they close price around there on a certain time frame. I always use the higher time frames to see when they close price. Then you could see that you might be able to get an entry right over here. It just depends where they stop the market. As long as they respect this support, we're looking for long-term buyers up towards around this resistance level up here. So of course this won't play out in one day, but this is for all my swing traders. You know how we do in mentorship, so I hope you appreciate this one. If not, you can still catch your daily buys. Just keep looking for continuations of higher lows that are being formed in the market, just like you're seeing one here so far. USDJPY, now this is what I like to call a pagan, a Judas.
Judas? I am one of his closest and most trusted followers. Are you certain he trusts you? Would he put me in charge of the money if he didn't?
We did try and catch a sell in this trade from around this area here. We could see that when we zoom out that this level looked like it was levels in the market before where the market had rejected, and then when we go over to this level here, this is where it pushed up to. So we was looking to catch a continuation of a sell. We actually did manage to catch about 100 pips on this pair, but the market obviously found a support around here and decided to do what I like to call a manipulation buyback up. Why I'm calling this a manipulation buyback up is because they wanted to go towards a liquidity hunt, and it was just towards this area here. So we can see that this was a huge area of interest before where they pushed the market all the way up to and then sold back down. So it seems like right now, instead of them managing to continue a sell towards this level, this is what they're looking to go for here. So we could be seeing a resistance around here, and then just like you saw in the previous pair, you want to go down your time frame and look for the market to form a higher low, and then something like this. Hopefully, if it is going to respect that level, it will go up towards here, bounce off of here, might bounce off of here again, then do something like this, create a higher low, and then bingo. And then you want to get your entry in somewhere like this over here. So if you want to get a nice safer entry when you see a market structure forming a downtrend, if you're wondering what I mean by a downtrend, so you can look for your entry and a continuation to the downside. Now when we go over to New Zealand USD, you can see right now, what do we see? So we can see prices down towards the low. We managed to catch a nice buy in this trade. This was a good couple of 100 pips. This actually came out as a Neo trade, which was great. Neo is a break and retest indicator, fantastic for traders that want to catch these nice long trades, and I've just added short-term trades to it as well. And we can see straight away when we go over to here, what do we see? We see that the market had brought all the way down to this level and then started to form structure, which was higher lows, for it to give us an indication of the market going up into an uptrend. If we go down into a lower time frame, you can see what I'm talking about. So as soon as we saw a breakout of this level, and you could have had a trade towards here, don't get me wrong, even if you entered here, this was still about 100 pips here, so you would have been fine. But then when you saw the market come back towards this level again, even, you had another idea of a possible continuation of a buy. And again, this is 4-hour candles here, so when you're seeing all of this consolidation building up around this area, you definitely could have drawn a trend line on the higher time frame or this one, and then you had to just go for the trade or not. Again, traders, you can't be scared to lose trades. You're going to win trades, you're going to lose trades. This is Forex, this is the game. You have to just manage your risk, and you have to enter the trade if it appears up towards this mid-level resistance. Why have I got this mid-level resistance here? We can see that the market previously around this area was finding some type of support here. So we're seeing that if the market does want to go up to somewhere, it might go towards here. I believe on the higher time frame, a lot of these are wicks. So really, we can see that the bulk of the support was around this area here. And you'd be looking for long-term buys to go back up towards this area here if the market does want to respect that type of structure. Okay, so now we've got USD Swiss franc. Again, you can see I'm on my daily time frame. I'm just breaking it down. Like I said, I always just check my higher time frames. I'm putting it on a daily right now so you guys and girls can see this more easier and how structure looks instead of being on a lower time frame. And we're looking at the same things here. You know, repetition is what I always tell my students in the mentorship program. I always tell them you're looking for repetition just to see, I like to call it the circle of pips. Price always does that. It finds a high, finds a low, and then it just bounces off of it and then literally reverses. You've just got to find a way to get into these types of trades. So when we look at here, we can see that there's a huge consolidation here. I'm not calling this a major level, I'm just calling it a mid-level for me in terms of how I'm looking at this chart. Of course, we can see these are huge major levels because we're seeing massive buys or sells off of these levels. Right now, we're just seeing a consolidation in this whole level here, and I'm expecting price to go towards here, which will be its first resistance zone. Now, when we look at this, there's another resistance zone if price wants to break here, going up more towards this side here. So So in terms of risk to reward, we just have to go for our trade when it comes here. If it does start to present on a lower time frame, 4 hour, hour chart, 15 minute even, you might be able to get a nice entry. If you start to see the market form a lower high, you're looking to get the entry on the lower high and take a nice trade to go down. If not, you're looking to get your aggressive entry right off of this level here. Completely up to you as a trader how you decide to do it. Again, this will be an aggressive entry if you take it straight off the resistance line. If you're a bit more patient and you wait, then you're going to be looking to get an entry towards the lower high when it's formed, and then you can say the market is starting to form a downtrend on the higher time frames, whether it's the daily, 4 hour, hour chart, etc. But if you go to the lower time frames, you can understand the market can break that level a lot more easier than it forming structure on a higher time frame. Okay, so we go over to GBPUSD and we can see there's two possible resistance in this level here. The market didn't break and continue to go up. Of course, this was the news of the war. My heart goes out to the Ukrainians out there and people trying to, you know, flee the country to get into some type of safety. Hopefully God can be with them and protect them on their journey during these times, because it is very, very treacherous times, as we like to call it, in terms of, you know, what's actually happening at the moment. So again, my heart goes out to all of the people going through any struggles right now in that situation. And we can see here in terms of what happened with the news of the war, the market did a massive reversal off of this level and never actually went to its previous resistance. That's why we started to see some type of decision making being made here, and the decision was obviously to go bearish. They found some type of mid-level of support here, which changed to a resistance, of course, when the market decided to break it. Now what we're seeing is this was a huge level before, so this would have been a zone just like this over here, because we can see the massive buy that happened there. But of course they just kept deciding to go bearish with this pair. So as they've decided to go bearish even more, now we have to look further out to find our levels in the market where the market can buy or sell from. And we can see that the market can possibly buy when it gets to this level over here, because we can see there was a nice breakout on the daily time frame towards this level. If not, then we're expecting the market to go down even further. It might go down to maybe here or here, but we put an overall level of support there, and we're just waiting to see how the market behaves, if it breaks into this level or if it goes down to this level, and then we'll be looking for our buys on a lower time frame. You know, here would have been your first breakout, then you was waiting for a retest. But when you look towards your retest, you can see here, as soon as you put this, the market just broke it, so your retest wasn't valid anyway, and you can see it broke it and turned it into a new resistance even here. So you're waiting for your higher lows or lower highs to be formed. Of course, in this case, it'll be a higher low, so you have to be patient for GU if you like to get into this type of trade. If you want to figure out how you can get into these trades a lot easier, I have suggested many times before, I do actually have an indicator called NEO. NEO picks up nice entries when it comes to break and retest in the market. I have added a version 5 to NEO, which also helps you to get into trades that are a bit smaller, so it's not only going to be long-term trades, you're going to be able to get into those trades as well, which is fantastic. And you can see even what I put in my Discord group recently, it's literally the same thing. You can see the zones being drawn out. Now we're going to USDCAD. When we're on USDCAD, you have to look at this pair. You have to look at this pair a couple of times. Why I say this more than anything is because we can see there was a huge downtrend. I mean, if we was to count this downtrend in pips from top to bottom, this is over 2,000 pips right now. This is about 2,600 pips. It was a huge downtrend on this pair. There must have been a lot of liquidity left when the market was selling towards this area. So right now, as we zoom in a bit more, we can see we've got a support level down here. This support level is going all the way back until 2015. So when we look at it, we can see that the market had bought off of this level and it's managed to find new levels of support. But what I have called these, instead of calling them major levels of support, because we can see a massive one was obviously down here where it finally decided to reverse after that huge downtrend, then I've called these the mid-level supports, because the market did of course consolidate here, buy up, consolidate and bought up. So right now we're expecting price to sell back down on this pair, but that's only if it respects this area. Also, what I wanted to do is, if you go down to, let's just say, a lower time frame, we start to break down market structure on this pair. You could have seen that even from here. This is why I'm explaining when you're starting to see lower highs and higher lows being formed on different time frames for your entries. We can see if we push this down to this level here, remember these are 4-hour candles now, so it's going to take some time for this to appear, and you're going to be able to see the market forming structure clearly. The market came down to this level, then it reversed off this level here. You would have been able to see this reversal off of this level, and you could have been looking for an entry in this trade, especially off of this bearish candle here. If not, you was waiting to see if it went up to this level one more time, if you did miss this one. And this time, what did you see? You saw the market broke this level. That's okay if it breaks the level, because if it broke the level, you had to wait to see what happened. So this is why I give you another piece of advice. When you go up a time frame, what happens now? The daily chart is very good, especially a daily candle closure. It means that that was the decision of where they stopped the price on that day, you would have been able to put your trend line right over here. And when you put your trend line here, what did you see? You saw a nice reversal straight after. So this day you put your trend line there, then you've seen a bearish engulfing candle. I have explained what these candles mean, candles with high volume in there, and you would have been able to get in on this day here for the continuation of the sell, and you already would have been in 110 pips profit. We can see that if they do want to go to a liquidity grab down to the downside, here's a wick, you could be looking at a possible 200 pip trade. This is all Forex has to be if you're patient with the market. If you're trying to make money every 5 seconds in Forex, then you're not going to be seeing this pattern occur, and what I like to call the circle of pips. Once the circle of pips occurs, you're going to be able to get trades a lot more easier once you're just patient with trading. Now we go over to GBPJPY. We can see that the market has come into this level here, and when it came into this level here, all we're starting to see on a higher time frame, so probably the weekly and the monthly time frame, prices just consolidating around this area. We're not seeing too much in terms of what the market's actually doing here in terms of nice trends, but that's not a problem because we're on a high time frame, which is like the daily. We're still good because these moves are huge moves. These are like 800 pip moves in terms of how we can catch these for swing trades. So we obviously know that this was a strong level here because we see this 800 pip buy, and then we can clearly see there's another 800 pip sell in the same zone. So this level and this level at the top are very, very strong levels in the market for us, which is fantastic. So when we're looking for what it could do next, now GJ is kind of in the middle of nowhere, so you have to be careful. I did give this call out to all of my students, and we were able to break down this trade, and we caught this sell going down to here. This was fantastic for a lot of my students. We just wait for the trades to appear, we wait for our break and retest, and we catch these trades. This is what we're doing right now. You're just at a point where the market can reject off of this level, and we could see a continuation. We saw the candle closed with a wick here, so unless it breaks above this level, if you do see a bearish candle start to form here, then you would be looking to see price do maybe something like this again, or straight down, something like that, back down towards this level here. If not, you could just see the market just go straight down towards that level and look for a support. We know this is obviously a key level here for a huge buy, so we could be seeing something like that. If it decides to continue and buy up, then we know where we're looking for, which are overall zones here. All you have to do is go down to your lower time frames. You want to see lower highs or higher lows being formed. Okay, fantastic. So this is gold. If you are in my Discord, then you have been making money on gold. We managed to catch for the free group. I caught more pips for paid users in my paid groups, which would be Neo or mentorship. For the free actual group, if you just join the link that's right down in the bottom of the description of this YouTube video, I gave out this trade several times. It was at least 4 to 5 times, but overall we managed to catch 2,000 pips on it going up basically and back down. This was the first rejection we caught right here at this level here, so we caught 2,000 pips around this area here. Then we was looking for a continuation of a sell. They did manage to fake us out, I believe, when it came up towards this level here. A lot of us came out the market. Overall it was a loss of about, where the stop loss was, is about 600 to 800 pips. It just depends. I'd have to calculate that again. And when we got to this level up here, this is when I gave a trade call out, just so you can see that there's proof of it, and I did say this at the time. And right over here you can see it in the Discord, and this came out on the 9th of March. When we go into this trade, you can see the date right there, the 9th of March. You can see the morning as well, which is London time in the morning. Just before I took my son to school, I gave out this trade to everybody and was telling them. I entered before I left to take my son to school, and I was able to catch the market creating a nice lower time frame, lower high, and I entered the trade. I told every single person from here, if we go back to the general group, so in the group I did tell everybody it was up to them if they wanted to take the trade, because of course they just came off of the last loss, even though we had a bunch of wins. So again, as I always say, risk management is crazy important. That is fine if you take a loss, and I did tell them it's up to them if they want to take it. Obviously I was going to take it, and I explained why. You know, all gold did is on a higher time frame, it just went for a liquidity hunt, as I explained several times in the buy up, that, you know, gold can do this, gold can do that. It went for a liquidity hunt towards the highest high of all time, and then as soon as it did that, I said it's either going to sell from that level or it's going to buy from that level. And then when we go back to trading view, we can see clear as day when we look at this chart, all it did is go up to that level. You can see where the market was, and I told them straight away that yep, it might sell from this level. From when you're looking at it, it's about 900 pips in profit. So when you add it all together, you should have been profitable from the buys going up, the stop loss hit, and then the sell coming back down. And now we're looking for long-term sells. You can see all the levels I've marked out here for where it can go towards, and then overall it can go down towards here. I do not expect it to do that in one day. If it is going to do that, I expect it to do it over a long period of time. I swing trade gold mostly rather than scalp it every single day. On that note, guys and girls, I hope you liked the video. Take care.